All right, team coverage continues here on Winter Storm Aspen. This first alert weather day here at Channel 3. We're tracking, of course, snow coming down across the hills of northwest Connecticut, especially into those deeper shades of blue. Norfolk heading into Hartland and Barkhamsted, also Simsbury. Pretty moderate to heavy snow ongoing there. Bands of snow working throughout the quiet corner of northeast Connecticut. After a bit of a lull, the snow beginning to fill back in there. As we check out the statewide perspective, well, you do see some shades of green, of course, along the shoreline where there's some rain. There's also some snow mixing in along the 95 corridor right now. So there will be some periods of quieter weather, but as well filling back in as the morning progresses with more snow, and it will be all snow for all of Connecticut, even where we're seeing some of that rain right now. As we head through the next couple of hours, we'll see that transition. So where the snow is coming down, it's certainly reducing visibility. Mile visibility coming in from Windsor Locks, Tallinn, Putnam. Half-mile visibility coming in from Brainerd Airport and Hartford. 1 mile visibility at Oxford Airport. So this area of low pressure, the center of Winter Storm Aspen, slowly moving away, and while doing so getting stronger. So we do expect the wind to switch direction on the backside of this to bring or pull colder air southward from the north. So that's why temperatures will be getting progressively colder, and we'll likely see some additional minor accumulation. Want to continue right now our team coverage with Melissa Cole with a look at some of the snowfall totals that have been pretty impressive.
That's right, Mark. They sure have, especially in Litchfield County. That's where we thought some of the higher totals will come in, and sure enough, that's what happened. Falls Village, 14 inches. At Cindy's house in Norfolk, we've had a foot of snow. Torrington, 10 inches. Windsor Locks, 8.2. Up at the airport, that's the most we've seen since December of 2022 in one storm system. And in Suffield, we had 7 inches. Staffordville at Jeff's house, 6.5. Eastern Bristol and Avon checking in with 7 inches of snow. Mansfield Center, 4. And Guilford and Seymour, a little bit less, 2 and 2.5 inches there, respectively. So the closer you got to the shoreline, the less in terms of snowfall amounts. The farther north across the state, that's where we saw some of those jackpot totals. And don't forget, we're going to add a little bit more onto that today with this second band that's been kind of moving on in and filling in on our live first alert radar. Okay, so here's downtown Hartford right now. You can see lots of snow on some of the side roads here, also on the rooftops. 30 degrees. Temperatures have been slowly falling in and around central and northern Connecticut over the past couple of hours. In Old Saybrook, not a very snowy scene. We've had some rain nearby, but you're not totally out of the woods, Old Saybrook. You'll likely get a little bit more snow before this whole system moves on out. And in New Haven right now, again, we've transitioned from rain back over to more of a mix into snow. And again, those temperatures will continue to fall. So the impacts on this first alert weather day, traveling certainly impactful out there, especially on some of those side roads. Shoveling, it's been a heavy wet snow for some. Emailers saying it's been tough to get rid of. Power outages, we have had some, but that hasn't been too much of an issue. Coastal flooding, minor coastal flooding along the high tide cycle, which is occurring now along our shoreline. All right, so temperatures across the area right now are in the 20s and lower 30s, and we're going to continue to see temperatures fall as we go through noon and beyond into the 20s. So anything that hasn't been, that has melted, or any residual precipitation that hasn't been cleared away will likely freeze. So again, we're concerned about that for travel this afternoon and tonight. All right. Okay, we're sending it out to Scott. He's out on the patio. Let's check in with it. Look at that, already a snowman.
Melissa, it took me about 5 seconds to make this. The snow is so heavy and so wet. That is the nature of the snow. So if you have respiratory problems or suffer from heart ailments, and you know who you are, you have medical conditions, you want to let the kid down the block shovel this out, because it is quite heavy snow. Again, I made this in just about less than 5 minutes. It's going to be a great snowmaking event for the kids to get outside and enjoy it. But this is the kind of heavy, wet snow that you're going to encounter on the roads. The DOT has been out there. They've been doing an unbelievable job, an awesome job of clearing those roads. But it's like in between those lanes. I stayed in my lane on 91 while I was coming in from Hartford to Rocky Hill. And then as I was trying to switch lanes to get off the exit at 23, it's very slushy in those middle lanes. So you want to be making sure that you exercise caution out there for a, for that period of time. So just be careful out there, but you can have some fun with the kids. As you can see, Mark, I've made a snowman. I'm calling him Melton John after my first snowfall, after this first snowfall that I covered here on Channel 3 back in 1998. Hello.
Well, good morning. Thank you, Scott. And great advice as well with regard to driving. Stay in your lane. Always a smart move. A check of first alert futurecast where we're still tracking some rain along the shoreline, or a bit of a mix. As we head through the next couple of hours, by say 11 o'clock or noon, it is all over to snow from the hills all the way to the shoreline. Note those wind arrows coming out of a more northwesterly direction. Colder air, as Melissa was alluding to earlier, will be funneling in our direction. That will switch into that lingering non-snow over to snow. And by 5 o'clock this evening, outside of some flurries, basically done and over by then. So in the next several hours, we could see upwards of 2 to 4 inches of additional snow across the northern half of our state, 1 to 3 inches throughout coastal and southern Connecticut by this evening. So bringing our storm totals 6 to 10 inches still over the hills of the Quiet Corner as well as near the Massachusetts border. The real jackpot across Connecticut is over the hills of Litchfield County, 6 to 12 inches, even some locally higher amounts. We already have Cindy from Falls Village earlier this morning reporting 14 inches of snow. 3 to 6 southeast of Hartford in this lighter shade of blue, and then 1 to 3 inches due to that mixing along the 95 corridor. On our first alert 7-day forecast, tomorrow's a dry and bright day, highs in the mid and upper 30s. So a good day to get out and clean up, do some recovery before our next storm system moves in. We've got a first alert for late Tuesday into early Wednesday. Here's the latest with first alert futurecast showing Tuesday starts dry. Cloud cover increases as the day moves forward, and by the evening there could be a little bit of a wintry mix at the onset, but more or less this is going to be rain from beginning to end, and this is due to the track. The area of low pressure going to the west of Connecticut, we're on its mild side, bringing in a southeasterly flow, very warm temperatures, a wind that could gust to over 40 miles an hour, and rain that could be heavy Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. So that heavy rain on top of the snow and snow melt that's going to be taking place from here today, Winter Storm Aspen, there's a concern for flooding. So the rainfall totals, we could see 2 inches, if not more. We're already at a level 2 risk on the excessive rain outlook, a level 3 risk not far from Connecticut. So this is certainly an evolving situation. Temperatures on Wednesday start in the 50s and then drop. That's why we have the arrow down. Thursday, Friday, temperatures above average, still 40 to 45, a couple of dry and brighter days before another storm system arrives as we head into next week. And that one also, at least as of now, looking wet as opposed to anything wintry. So more or less this active weather pattern continues.